Hello everyone, welcome to the practice. Let's begin. Take your time to lie down on the floor. Before you settle, feel free to stretch or move around, wiggle, just to create that extra space for the body to rest into. And whenever you are ready to truly stay still, take a few mindful breaths to bring you back to the here and now. Maybe the breaths are deep and long. Maybe the breath is just very natural. And breathing out anything that is taking up space inside the head right now. For today's practice, just a natural breath is good enough. Okay, so go ahead and move the fingers, your toes, your wrists, and your ankles, and stretch in your own way to wake yourself up. Placing the feet down on the floor about hips width apart, we are going to do a few rounds of pelvic tilt. So you want to have the arms beside the body. My arms are overhead just for you to see a little bit easier. Then I'd like you to have a slight arch in your lower back. And then you are going to press your lower back down to the floor. Then as you inhale, create a little arch in the lower back. And on the exhale, press your lower back down to the floor. So do a few rounds of these on your own, tilting the pelvis. Some people feel a relief when there's an arch in the lower back, while other people feel it the opposite. So how we position our pelvis has a great impact in our lower back. And then I'd like you to settle into the shape, either a back bending or the lower back pressing down to the floor, and just stay, whichever feels more comfortable to you. Stay here and breathe. Then release, give yourself a hug, move around if you like. Then hug your knees into the body, turn the entire body to the right side. And then open the shoulders, come into a twist. If your knees are closer to the chest, you stretch the lower back more. If your knees are further down, you target the hips. If you like to cross your legs or do any variation, go ahead. Check in with the breath. And then gently you are going to release, coming back to the center, stillness or movement you decide. When ready, let's do the other side, turn the entire body to the left and then open the shoulders. So this way of entering the twist is the most calmest way to the SI joint. Explore the breath. Do you want to breathe deep and long? Maybe exhaling with your mouth. Eyes closed, eyes open, totally up to you. And then coming back to the center, feel free to sway the body if you want to or move around. And then turn the body to one side and sit up. Now having your feet pressing down to the floor, arms are beside the body. Let's sway the knees side to side like windshield wipers. You decide how far the feet should be away from one another. Feel free to continue with this movement or create something bigger. So when your knees drop to one side, the opposite arm will come all the way and touch the floor on the same side. Syncing the movement with your breath. And even though I'm doing the big movement, it doesn't mean that you have to do the same. So rather just listen to the body. Feel free to mix and match. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then let's come back to the center, sitting with your legs crossed. Feel free to sit on a block if you like. And on the inhale, let's stretch the arms all the way up to the sky. And then on the exhale, arms in front, and let's come to a forward fold. And just see how much of a forward fold is needed today. When you lean forward, you do want to feel the grounding in your sit bones, so try to keep the butt down. And then walk the arms to the right without moving the lower body. Feel free to come onto your fingertips and breathing into that left lower back. Then coming back up, walk the arms to the opposite side, the left side. And just see how this side is. Do you want to do the same or do you want to do something else? Coming back to the center, take about 2 breaths to reset. Feel free to wiggle. And then coming back to sit up. Okay, and then we are going to come into our tabletop pose. And regular tabletop, the wrists are underneath the shoulders. Let's walk the hands a bit further out or away. Feel free to come onto the fist if your wrist feels sensitive. And then we are going to do some spinal flossing. So when we shift forward, we want to drop the head down. When we shift back, we look up. Okay, so taking your time, moving at your own speed. It feels a little bit counterintuitive because when you shift forward, naturally you want to look up, but for this one, we want to drop the head down. So we're specifically targeting on flossing our spinal nerves, hence that odd, quote-unquote, movement. Decide on the magnitude of this movement, subtle or big. Breathing. Then coming back to the tabletop pose, shifting back, and let's stand up. So ground your feet down onto the floor, and when we inhale, raise both arms up. On the exhale, drop the right arm, stretch to the right. Inhale, let's come back up. And on exhale, left. Inhale, up. Exhale, right. Inhale, up. Exhale, left. Inhale, up. Exhale, right. Inhale, up. Exhale, left. Holding on the next one. Inhale, up. Exhale, right. Stay. Feel free to lift the right arm up as well and lace your fingers. Where do you want to look? Explore. The chest and your hips are facing directly to the front. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, the other side. Ground down with your feet. So strong legs, active legs are very important. Then inhale, come back all the way to the center. On exhale, release. Shake it out if you like. Having your feet about hips width apart, then you are going to bend your knees, come to a chair. The heels are a lot heavier than your toes. Hands are on your thighs. As you inhale, open the chest, look up. Exhale, round, chin to the chest. Inhale, open the chest, spread the shoulders. Exhale, hollow. Continue on your own, maintaining the bends in the knees, but again, be mindful there should be no sensations or pressure in those joints. You do want to engage your thigh muscles and also engage your glutes, the buttocks. And then let's stay as you round the spine. Hollow the belly, so engage your lower abs slightly. Then inhale, let's rise back up to standing. Now from here, we are going to stimulate the superficial back line fascia of the body. So what we want to do is we want to ground the feet down about hips width apart, and we lace the fingers behind the head, relaxing up the shoulders. So we want to start rounding the spine bit by bit. First of all, bring the chin to the chest, and then imagine each vertebra rounding a little bit, upper back rounding, lower back. And then eventually you are going to come down, bend your knees, come into a place where you feel is enough, and then you are going to reverse when you come up. So this movement is very, very slow. Imagine you are like a flower or like a yoga mat, something less romantic, but then it's more appropriate. You want to round the spine like as if you're rolling up a yoga mat bit by bit. So physically it might not look much, but if you are the doer, it feels a lot. Taking your time, breathing along the way, bend your knees so you don't have to deal with that stretch in the back of your legs. And if you like to do a bit of a back bend when you come all the way up, feel free to explore that. Continue rounding bit by bit. You can add some pressure in the back of the head to stimulate the back of the neck, if you like. So fascia is kind of like plastic wrapping around muscles, bones, ligaments, everything. So those things tend to become quite stiff if we don't move. So very small mindful movement is actually very helpful. Then when you round the spine the next time, let's stay and then come into a forward fold of your choice. Any arm variation is good. Gentle reminder, we are thinking about the lower back releasing, not so much about the back of the legs. So that's why in this practice, I have my knees bent. Breathing in your own way. So it's never about the physical depth of the body. Then hands on the floor and then walk the legs back. And then sliding the body forward, lie on your belly. Come into a crocodile half frog. So you want to draw the right knee out to the side and rest your forehead on the arms. Feel free to stay or maybe come onto your forearms, come into a sphinx. So if the right knee is aligned to the hip, it's going to be more intense. If you want to bring the right heel closer to the glutes, it's going to be more mild. Allow the front right hip to sink, keeping some space in the chest, in the front shoulders. If you like, go ahead and lift the elbows up into a cobra. Just be mindful of the lower back. Where do you want to look? Have an exploration. And softly lower the body down to the floor and bring the right leg back. Sway the pelvis side to side if you need. Whenever you are ready, do the other side. So the left knee will be drawn out to the side. Maybe resting crocodile with the forehead on the forearms, or maybe come into a sphinx or a cobra with the elbows left. A lot of times when your hips are tight, the lower back would be affected. So that is why we do a lot of other things to take care of the lower back. We also did them shoulders today, so that's another very helpful element. Be curious about all the sensations that you are experiencing right now. As long as it's nothing sharp, electric, stabbing, then just stay for a few breaths if it's okay. On your exhale, let's come back to the base pose and feel free to sway the pelvis side to side. When you're ready, roll over so you're lying on your back. Now we are going to work on the hips, placing your feet on the floor and then the right ankle on the front tip of the left thigh. You can stay or draw the left thigh into the body, maybe lacing your fingers behind the back of the left thigh, or wrap the hands around the left shin bone. Checking that the body stays relatively relaxed. If you want to deepen physically, either draw the thigh in closer to the belly or pull the knee closer to the chest. They will give you very different sensations, so you can see which fits better. And if you want to stretch the left leg out all the way, go ahead. And then on the exhale, let's release. Come back to the center. Sway the body if you like before you enter the other side. See how this other side is, what you need to do. Left and right are never the same, so don't feel surprised if you have to do something else on the side. Check in with the mind, still with you, still on the breath. Yeah, and go ahead and stretch your right leg out if you like. And then gently release, ground your feet down, movement if you want to. Next shape, the supported bridge. So feet ground down, grab onto a block, lift your hips up and slide the block underneath your sacrum. That's the part of the body between the lower back and the butt. After the block is in place, see what kind of leg variations work, be it staying with your feet on the floor or come into a very long butterfly with the soles of feet together, knees out to the side, or if you want to stretch your legs out, arms anywhere that you feel comfortable. Taking some time to allow the body to rest onto the block. Just stay here, breathing. Feeling the breath, maybe in the belly and the chest or the side ribs. If your arms are beside the body, see if the palms should face the floor or should they face the sky. And if your legs are straight, do you want to turn the legs out to the side, or do you want to have your knees facing the sky? All those subtle movements create quite a big difference in feeling. So be curious. Stay. Now we are going to come out of bridge. So taking your time to remove the block and let the spine rest flat on the mat. Feel free to stay, or any movement that body needs to reset the spine and the system. Whenever you are ready, you are going to turn the body to the right side and then use the hands to push up to sit up. Sitting tall and sitting relaxed. Just stay. Place your hands to the heart center and silently thank yourself for dedicating some time to practice. And I also thank you for spending the time to practice with me. Rub the palms to create some heat. When they are warm, cup the hands over the eyes. Whenever you are ready, remove the hands and blink open the eyes. Hope you enjoyed the session. Namaste. Take it easy.